My beloved soul, listen carefully. The one you gave to God is coming back different, and this is not just a comforting phrase, it is a prophetic announcement over your life in this very hour, because the moment you released them into God's hands, heaven began a process that you could not see but desperately needed. My beloved soul, listen carefully, you were led to this message on purpose. This is not a coincidence, this is confirmation. Before we go deeper, respond in faith, type, "I receive this," in the comments as a declaration that you trust God's work, like this video as a sign of agreement with divine restoration, subscribe to this channel because God is aligning you with timely words, click the bell so you stay connected to what heaven continues to reveal, and send a super thanks as a prophetic act of faith, saying, "Lord, I trust you with the one I surrendered." Now hear this clearly, the one you gave to God is not lost, they are being transformed. You remember when you said, "Lord, I cannot fix this, I give it to you," and that surrender carried more power than your tears ever did. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what you are about to understand will calm the storm inside you. The distance was not rejection, it was divine reconstruction. While you were healing, God was correcting. While you were learning to let go, God was teaching them the value of what they had. Ecclesiastes says there is a time for everything, and this separation had a purpose. God has not forgotten you, and heaven is watching your patience. The version of them that hurt you is not the version being prepared now. God does not restore without refining. He does not send back what has not been changed. Listen carefully, the silence was sacred, even though it felt heavy. In that silence, God was working on both of you. He strengthened your boundaries. He exposed their weaknesses. He allowed them to feel the weight of losing peace. And you were peace in their life. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, because something powerful is unfolding. There were nights you almost reached out, but you chose obedience instead. Heaven saw that. Psalm 30 says weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Your morning is forming quietly. The one you gave to God is coming back different because conviction has been speaking to them in private. God has been confronting their pride. He has been revealing what they ignored. Growth has been happening beneath the surface. Real change is quiet before it becomes visible. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. This is not surface change. This is heart transformation. Romans 12 speaks of renewal of the mind, and that renewal is taking place. You were never too much. You were simply ahead in growth. And God needed to mature them, not reduce you. Hear this clearly, if restoration is ordained, it will feel peaceful. It will not feel chaotic. You will sense calm instead of confusion. Isaiah says God keeps in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on Him. Peace will confirm what is from Him. My beloved soul, remain attentive. The delay was not denial. The waiting was preparation. Your tears were seeds planted in faith. Galatians reminds you that in due season you will reap if you do not give up. Due season is not rushed, and it is not late. It arrives on time. The one you gave to God is coming back different because God honors surrendered prayers. He rebuilds what you entrust to Him. He reshapes what you release. While you feared it was over, heaven was restructuring the foundation. My beloved soul, if you remain until the end, the final word will settle your spirit. When they return, if it is God's will, you will notice the shift without searching for it. Their words will carry humility. Their actions will show consistency. You will not have to beg for effort. Revelation will have already taught them your value. This is not random. You were guided here. Heaven is aligning what once felt broken. But do not rush the timeline. Habakkuk says the vision awaits its appointed time. Though it lingers, wait for it. God is preparing this properly. Preparation feels slow, but it protects your future. Listen carefully, your peace is the priority. If they return unchanged, that is clarity. Because God does not restore what would wound you again. But if they return healed and aligned, you will recognize heaven's hand in it. My beloved soul, God has not forgotten you. The one you surrendered is being shaped in His timing. And what He restores with maturity and peace. What you prayed for is not gone. It is growing. And when it arrives, it will not break you. It will bless you. It will bless you in a way that feels steady and secure, not rushed and uncertain, because what God restores carries His signature, and His signature is peace mixed with purpose. My beloved soul, listen carefully, the blessing will not arrive with confusion attached to it, it will not reopen old wounds without healing them first, it will come with clarity that settles your spirit and confirms that the waiting was not wasted. You have been asking in the quiet, Lord, was I foolish to let them go? And heaven answers you now, no, you were faithful, you were obedient, you were courageous enough to choose surrender over control. My beloved soul, do not skip this sacred revelation, because what is happening behind the scenes is bigger than your emotions. God has been working in layers. First He healed your dependency. Then He began addressing their immaturity. Then He started aligning circumstances so that when paths cross again, they cross with understanding instead of assumption. This is not random movement. This is divine orchestration. Proverbs 16 verse 9 says a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps, and God has been directing steps you cannot see. Listen carefully, the one you gave to God has been experiencing moments of realization that they cannot escape. Memories have become lessons. Regret has become reflection. Reflection has become growth. Growth has become desire for change. Heaven is watching this transformation unfold slowly but surely. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, because the next truth will anchor your heart. The return will test you as much as it blesses you. Because when someone comes back different, you must also respond different. You cannot welcome them with the same fear. You cannot lower your standards to match their old behavior. God did not strengthen you just to send you back into weakness. He matured you so you could recognize maturity. He healed you so you could require health. The one you gave to God is coming back different, but you are also different now. And that is the part you must not overlook. Listen carefully, when Joseph was betrayed and later reunited with his brothers, he was no longer the same young dreamer, he was elevated, positioned, matured by suffering. Genesis 50 verse 20 says what was meant for evil God used for good. Your pain has been repositioning you. Your tears have been elevating your discernment. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven is still speaking. There will be a moment when communication opens again. It may start small. It may feel simple. But beneath it will be weight. You will sense sincerity where there was once defensiveness. You will sense effort where there was once neglect. That shift will not be dramatic noise. It will be steady evidence. And evidence speaks louder than promises. God is not in a hurry, and neither should you be. If it is ordained, it will unfold naturally without manipulation. James 1 verse 17 says every good and perfect gift is from above. And what comes from above does not require you to chase it in fear. It aligns with peace. My beloved soul, remain attentive, because this next part is crucial. You must forgive fully before restoration arrives. Not partial forgiveness. Not surface forgiveness. But true release. Because you cannot step into a healed reunion while secretly holding old resentment. Forgiveness does not excuse what happened. It frees you from carrying it. And when you are free, you can discern clearly. Listen carefully. God allowed the separation to break unhealthy cycles. He allowed distance to expose imbalance. He allowed silence to reveal who was truly willing to grow. And growth has been happening. Quietly. Deeply. Authentically. My beloved soul, if you remain until the end, the final declaration will ignite your faith. There were moments you felt forgotten. Moments you felt overlooked. But Psalm 37 verse 23 says the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. Your steps have been ordered. Their steps have been redirected. And when ordered steps meet redirected steps under God's timing, divine alignment occurs. The one you gave to God is not returning casually. They are returning with awareness. Awareness of your value. Awareness of their mistakes. Awareness of what almost slipped away. And awareness changes behavior. Hear this clearly, this time if it happens, it will not be built on emotional highs. It will be built on intentional effort. You will see consistency. You will see accountability. You will see spiritual growth. And that is how you will know God has finished His work. My beloved soul, stay close to Him in this hour. Do not idolize the reunion. Idolize the one who orchestrates it. Because whether restoration happens or redirection comes instead, God's plan for you is good. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 declares He knows the plans He has for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And hope is rising again inside you even now. Listen carefully, heaven is not just preparing them for you. Heaven is preparing you for what you prayed for. Sometimes we ask for change, but we are not ready to receive it. God made sure you were strengthened first. He taught you to survive without them so that if they return, you choose them from strength, not fear. My beloved soul, do not skip this closing truth, because it carries power. What you surrendered was never beyond God's reach. He has been reshaping character. He has been realigning priorities. He has been softening hearts that once resisted correction. And when the time is right, the evidence will be undeniable. You will not have to question if they are different. You will see it. You will feel it. You will discern it. And if it is truly from God, it will not disturb your peace. It will multiply it. The one you gave to God is coming back different, not because you demanded it, but because you trusted God enough to release control. That trust is about to meet fulfillment. So stand firm. Remain prayerful. Guard your heart. And expect God to complete what He started. Philippians 1 verse 6 says He who began a good work will carry it on to completion. And completion is closer than you think. My beloved soul, what you prayed for is nearer now than when you first believed. Rest in that truth. Walk in that peace. And prepare your heart, because what God restores under His timing arrives with blessing, maturity, and divine assurance that this time, it is aligned. It is aligned in a way that will not confuse your spirit, it will confirm it, because when God finishes a work, He does not leave fingerprints of chaos on it, He leaves evidence of order, stability, and holy intention. My beloved soul, listen carefully. You have been in a season where silence felt louder than answers, where memories felt heavier than hope, but that silence was not empty, it was occupied by divine activity. Heaven has been watching. Heaven has been arranging. Heaven has been softening what once seemed unmovable. The one you gave to God has not been wandering without purpose, they have been walking through lessons designed by the very hand you trusted. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is unfolding is sacred beyond your imagination. There were areas in their heart that you could never reach, conversations that ended in defense, patterns that repeated no matter how gently you addressed them, but when you stepped back and placed them before God, you invited a higher authority into the situation. And when God confronts a heart, He does it thoroughly. Hebrews 12 verse 11 says no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful, later however it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace. That harvest is forming now. Listen carefully, they have felt the absence of your covering. They have noticed the difference between temporary distractions and genuine connection. They have experienced moments where your presence echoed in their memory with clarity. This is not coincidence. This is conviction. God has a way of allowing someone to see clearly only after what they took for granted is no longer within reach. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, because what I am about to reveal will strengthen your expectation. The transformation has not only been emotional, it has been spiritual. God has been dealing with their pride. He has been revealing insecurities they masked with ego. He has been dismantling false independence. And in the quiet hours, when no one else sees, humility has been growing. Humility changes everything. Because a humble heart can love correctly. A humble heart can apologize sincerely. A humble heart can commit faithfully. The one you gave to God is coming back different because they are not returning as the same version who walked away, they are returning as someone who has tasted loss and understood its value. But hear this deeply, you must not romanticize the past. You must not lower your discernment out of nostalgia. God strengthened you for a reason. He taught you to be okay without what you once thought you could not live without. That strength is not meant to disappear. It is meant to guide you. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to say to you. When restoration is truly from God, it will not require you to sacrifice your peace. It will protect it. It will not ask you to ignore red flags. It will demonstrate change without needing to convince you of it. Actions will align with words. Effort will match intention. Consistency will replace confusion. And you will feel safe, not anxious. Psalm 85 verse 8 says God speaks peace to His people. Peace will be your confirmation. Listen carefully, this process was never just about them changing, it was about you discovering your worth. You learned that you deserve reciprocity. You learned that love must be mutual. You learned that you cannot carry a connection alone. And that revelation was necessary. Because when they return different, you must also receive them differently. You must require maturity. You must require honesty. You must require alignment with God's will. My beloved soul, remain attentive, because something powerful is happening beneath the surface of your story. Heaven is aligning conversations that will bring clarity. Heaven is arranging timing that will remove confusion. Heaven is preparing both hearts to meet again without the weight of old misunderstandings. This is not forced. This is formed. And formation takes time. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 8 says the end of a matter is better than its beginning, and you are approaching an ending that leads to a better beginning. Hear this clearly, there will be a moment when you look at them and sense the difference. Not just in their words, but in their spirit. You will see reflection in their eyes. You will sense intentionality in their approach. You will feel stability in their presence. And that stability will calm something inside you that once felt unsettled. My beloved soul, if you remain until the end, this final wave of revelation will ignite bold faith within you. The one you gave to God had to go through their own wilderness. Just as the prodigal son in Luke 15 had to experience distance before returning home with humility, they too had to journey through consequences before recognizing what truly mattered. And when the prodigal returned, he returned changed. That is the pattern of restoration under God's hand. It requires awakening. It requires realization. It requires repentance. And those seeds have been planted. Listen carefully, you may soon begin to notice subtle shifts. A message that carries depth. A conversation that holds vulnerability. An admission that once would have been impossible. Do not rush it. Let it unfold. Let actions prove transformation. Because real change does not need to announce itself loudly. It reveals itself consistently. My beloved soul, heaven is not teasing your heart. Heaven is preparing it. Whether the restoration unfolds exactly as you hope or in a way that redirects you toward something even greater, God's intention is your peace and your fulfillment. He does not restore to harm. He restores to heal. And if He brings this person back into your life in a renewed way, it will be because both of you are finally aligned with His purpose. The one you gave to God is coming back different, not because time passed, but because God intervened. And when God intervenes, outcomes shift. Hearts soften. Priorities change. Love matures. So stand steady. Remain prayerful. Guard your peace. And trust that what is being formed now will not mirror what broke you before. My beloved soul, hear this final declaration with faith rising in your chest: what you surrendered in obedience is being returned in refinement. What you released in tears is being restored in strength. What you feared was ending was actually evolving. And as you step forward in trust, know this with unwavering certainty: God has not forgotten you, heaven is watching over every detail, and what is coming next will carry the mark of divine transformation, bringing not confusion, not instability, but clarity, maturity, and a love shaped by the very hands of God. Clarity will wrap around you like a gentle wind, and you will finally understand why God refused to answer your prayer the way you first requested it, because if He had restored them too soon, you would have embraced the same cycle with new hope but old patterns. My beloved soul, listen carefully. Heaven delays what would damage you and prepares what will develop you. The one you gave to God had to be confronted by truth without your protection. They had to see themselves without your constant understanding covering their flaws. They had to recognize that what they had was rare. Rare is only understood after risk. Valuable is only appreciated after near loss. And God allowed that near loss to awaken something deep within them. My beloved soul, do not skip this final movement of revelation, because what I am about to declare will settle the last doubt hiding in your heart. You were never foolish for loving deeply. You were never weak for hoping again. You were never blind for believing in change. Your heart reflected God's own nature, patient and merciful. But patience does not mean tolerating harm. Mercy does not mean ignoring growth. And God has been teaching you the balance between compassion and wisdom. Listen carefully. When the reunion happens, if it is ordained by heaven, it will not feel like you are begging for reassurance. It will feel like reassurance is being offered freely. It will not feel like you are carrying the emotional weight alone. It will feel shared, mutual, steady. That steadiness is the evidence of transformation. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17 says, "If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things pass away. All things become new." And that scripture is not poetic exaggeration. It is spiritual reality. The one you surrendered is being shaped into newness. Not perfection, but progress. Not flawless, but faithful. My beloved soul, stay with me in this closing stretch, because heaven is sealing this word over your life. There were days you questioned if God heard you. Days you wondered if your prayer disappeared into silence. But Daniel 10 reveals that answers are released even when we do not see immediate results. Spiritual battles happen beyond your awareness. Delays are not denials. They are divine timing at work. The one you gave to God has been walking through a refining fire. And fire does not destroy gold. It purifies it. The pride that once blocked accountability has been melting. The fear that once caused avoidance has been exposed. The confusion that once clouded commitment has been clarified. And what remains after fire is authenticity. Hear this clearly: authenticity loves differently. Authenticity speaks honestly. Authenticity does not play with what it once mishandled. That is the difference God has been forming. My beloved soul, do not look back with longing. Look forward with discernment. Because when God restores, He does not rewind the story. He writes a new chapter. And the new chapter will not feel like repeating the same lesson. It will feel like building on learned wisdom. Psalm 66 verse 12 says, "We went through fire and water, but you brought us to a place of abundance." You have been through emotional fire. You have walked through deep waters. And abundance does not only mean material blessing. It means relational wholeness. It means peace that surpasses understanding. It means a connection built on growth instead of insecurity. Listen carefully, you will sense when the timing is right. You will not feel forced. You will not feel pressured. You will feel calm conviction. And calm conviction is the voice of God guiding your spirit. The one you gave to God is coming back different because God does not waste surrendered prayers. He answers them thoroughly. He restores with intention. He aligns with purpose. My beloved soul, here is the final truth heaven wants you to receive. Whether this person returns in renewed alignment or whether God redirects you toward something even greater, your surrender has already secured your blessing. Because obedience always positions you for favor. You chose faith over fear. You chose trust over control. You chose to place what you loved into the hands of the one who loves you more. That choice has shifted your future. Romans 8 verse 18 says the present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed. Glory is not distant. It is approaching. And when it arrives, you will recognize the fingerprints of every tear you cried in secret. My beloved soul, this is your confirmation. Heaven is watching. God has not forgotten you. This message found you because your spirit needed reassurance that the story is not over. The one you gave to God is not returning as a stranger to growth. They are returning marked by lessons, shaped by humility, and guided by realization. And you are not the same either. You are stronger, wiser, more anchored in God than before. That combination creates a foundation that can withstand what once broke you. So stand in peace. Breathe in expectation. Release lingering fear. What is meant for you under God's will cannot miss you. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be delayed beyond divine timing. And when it unfolds, it will feel aligned in your spirit before it is visible in your hands. My beloved soul, receive this final prophetic declaration with unwavering faith. What you surrendered in tears is being restored in transformation. What you released in obedience is being returned in maturity. What you feared was ending was actually evolving under God's careful supervision. The one you gave to God is coming back different. And this time, if it is written in heaven's plan, it will not bring instability. It will bring peace. It will not reopen wounds. It will confirm healing. It will not confuse your heart. It will settle it. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the God who holds both of you in His hands. Your prayer is closer to manifestation than you realize. Your breakthrough is nearer than your doubt suggests. And as you step forward from this moment, carry this assurance deep within your spirit: God is faithful, His promises are sure, and what He restores comes back refined, redeemed, and ready for the future He designed for you. Type Amen.